Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Afreen, and I'm your host for the session. We will be starting in the next 10 minutes. Please stay tuned. Thank you. Thank you everyone for waiting. So we have the presenter here and apologize for the delay. Hello, Mr. Dr. Hui. Hello. Hello,
Hello?
Dr.
Sorry,
Hui.
yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly. My name is Afreen, and I'll be the host for the session today. Are we good to start?
Oh, yes. Can you
Uh,
give me the access to share the screen?
sure, I'll certainly do that. I'll quickly take a brief about the session today, and I'll give you the access as well in the meanwhile.
Okay, yes, thank you.
Wonderful. Uh, so to give you a quick brief today, Quantancy is a pioneer in the education of algorithmic and quantitative trading. We have been in this industry for a decade now and have registered users from 165 plus countries across the globe. Today, we are presenting backtesting and live trading using Python presented by Dr. Hui Lu. Just a little heads up before we get started. If you have any questions during the presentation, please type them into the question box in your GoToWebinar chat box. I'll bring them up during the presentation, and we will also have time for the questions at the end. Now, without further ado, we will turn the time over to Hui, our presenter today. He is the author of IBridgePy and founder of Running River Investment LLC. His major trading interests are US equities and forex market. Running River Investment is a private hedge fund specialized in the development of automated trading strategies using Python. Over to you, Dr. Huilu.
Okay, can you hear me now? Thank you. Thank you very much for the introduction. Let me share my screen. Okay, let me start. Okay, so my name is Hui Liu. I live in San Jose, California, United States. And the title of my webinar is backtesting and live trading with interactive brokers using Python. Start. So this is the contents of today's topic. First, I will give an introduction about algorithm trading, interactive brokers, and IBridgePy. Then I will explain a very simple trading strategy, daily close. I call it daily close reverse, which is just considering the close price, daily close price, and then if they're reverse, then we use this reverse to make a trading strategy. Then the next part is to implement this daily close reverse strategy in IBridgePy. Next part, after we have the strategy, we will do the backtesting, use IBridgePy. There are three parts I will explain. First, use historical data provided by interactive broker, we call it IB, to backtest this strategy. Then another way is to use historical data from other data providers. Then the next part is after backtesting, we can analyze backtest results and to understand how is the strategy perform. Then after we are confident with the strategy, we can live trade the strategy using IBridgePy. The last part I would like to introduce is to use IBridgePy to place orders to multiple accounts, which is a very important feature for hedge fund managers, actually. Yeah, that's the contents of today's topic. So first, let me explain what is algo trading. So I copied the definition from Wiki and made a little bit change. Algorithmic trading is a method of executing orders using automated pre-programmed trading instructions, accounting for variables such as time, price, and volume to send orders out to market over time. This is the definition of algorithm trading. Think about what's the benefits of algo trading. I listed 4 things I can think of, actually just based on my personal experience. The first part is when you are using algorithm trading, there will be less pressure from constantly watching market. I think if you have a similar experience about trading any securities and constantly watching the market, you can feel the pressure. And if you use algo trading, you will feel more relaxed because computers will do a lot of things for you, and you can enjoy more time actually. Also, because the coding can do a lot of things, you will have less human errors. Then, because of less manual works, you can have more free time. Because of less human errors, you can have more profit. That's the benefits of algo trading. Then the next part is, how can we do algo trading? I can think of 4 major components of algo trading. First is a broker, where you can place your orders. Then the next part is the internet, and it connects your computer with broker's computer so that you can place order via internet. The last part is programs, where you implement your algo trading, and then computer runs programs and then set up algo trading. This is the algo trading. Then next part, let's talk about interactive brokers. Interactive brokers is an LLC. We call it IB, and it's a US-based brokerage firm. It operates the largest electronic trading platform in the United States by number of daily average revenue trades. This is Interactive Brokers website. You can go there, take a look quickly. Yeah, this is Interactive Brokers. Sorry, I'm just checking the questions. Okay, this is Interactive Brokers main website. If you are interested in it, you can just click YIBKR. Then you can read through about this page. Based on my personal experience, the advantages of IB, the most important to myself is advanced API technology. API stands for, actually, is automated program interface, which enables traders to do trading using API. Actually, it's just a interface between 2 computers so that you can communicate the information. And IB's advanced API technology enable traders to use program to trade. That's the most important thing, I think, for IB. The next part is IB provides very competitive pricing. So by trading with IB, you can save some cost and make more profit. The next part is IB offers global market access. If you go through the website, you will find IB can access 125 markets in 31 countries and use 22 currencies. So it's a very convenience to do trading with IB. Then the next part is how to do algo trading with IB. Just as I explained, you can use Python programs in IBridgePy and then get connected to IB and then trade. This is the brief introduction about the interactive broker. The next part, let's talk about IBridgePy. IBridgePy is a Python software helping traders to set up algo trading platform at their own computers or at the virtual computers in the cloud. This is IBridgePy's website, www.ibridgepy.com. Go there to take a look together. Yeah, this is IBridgePy's web page. You can take a look. So it is the Python platform to backtest and live trade with interactive brokers. But actually, in the most recent release, you can use IBridgePy to trade with Robinhood. Robinhood is a US-based brokerage firm again, and it offers zero commission trading. So if you are interested, you can take a look. The advantages of IBridgePy, I will talk about. The first is IBridgePy can protect traders' intellectual properties because IBridgePy helps traders set up everything at their own computer so that traders does not need to disclose anything or post any information on internet. Think about other competitors online. Most of them ask traders to code their strategies on their website. So think about if you code your Python on a website. So actually in Python, you cannot hide anything. And then you upload your strategy to other website. There's definitely some risks of your intellectual properties. But think about it, if you do everything on your local computer, then you can control everything. Yeah, that's the safest way to protect your strategies. The next part of IBridgePy is you can backtest and live trade together. One place, I will demonstrate that. The next part is you can use any Python packages, including AI and then machine learning and other packages. You can trade with different brokers, manage multiple accounts, and run quantoping algorithms if you are familiar with quantoping. Preparation. There are a few preparations to set up IBridgePy trading platform, but it's pretty straightforward. The first thing is to go to ibridgepy.com/download to download IBridgePy there. Let's go through it very quickly. If you go to download IBridgePy, and if you are a user, then you can log in. And then we can leave there. Okay, it's there. Download. The most recent IBridgePy version is there. And if you are interested what has been released, you can go to the release note and take a look right there. And then, so check out your operating system. It supports Windows, Mac, and Ubuntu Linux. Also, you need to think about what kind of Python you are using. If you are a Windows user, you must install Anaconda Python, but you can choose to use either 2.7, 3.6, or 3.7. For others, you can just follow the instruction here. What you need to do is go to IBridgePy Python 2 64-bit if you are using Windows Anaconda 2.7. So what you need to do is just click and download the zip file and save it to your local, and then unzip it. Yeah, I won't explain it too much because it's pretty straightforward. And then what you need to do is to apply an account, either a paper account or live account with Interactive Brokers. So you go to Interactive Brokers, you can either open a real account or click free trial. Yeah, both of them works on IBridgePy. Then the next part is download and install IB official terminals on your local computer. One of them called IB Gateway, the other way called Trader Workstation. You just click the download link. Let me do that quickly. Yeah, just click download and install the software as required. It's pretty straightforward. And then configure IB Gateway and TWS. Install Python because we are going to write Python code and execute Python code. So you need a Python. If you have any questions, you can go to IBridgePy tutorials to read it. Read the instruction details tutorials there. There's tutorial. You can click one of them or all of them. Other thing you may be interested is IBridgePy documentation, so that you can see what functions are provided in IBridgePy and what are their performance. If you have any other questions, maybe they are listed at the QA section. There you can go through questions and find out the answers. Another thing I would like to introduce is the community, because the users are very active on this forum, and you can see a lot of questions and answers there. Just quickly experience about that. Then the next part is give you a demo about how to configure TWS and IB Gateway. After you log in to IB TWS, it will look like this. You provide your ID and password. A few things you need to do is config, click File, Global Configuration, left side on API, Settings. On the right hand side, what you need to do is enable ActiveX and socket clients. Make sure the socket port is 7496 and then click OK. That's all you need to do to configure TWS. is documented in the IBridgePy tutorial. If you missed it, you can go back to there. And then let me talk about the IBridgePy quick demo here. So first step is to open a Python environment. Right now I'm using Windows so that I installed Anaconda. Anaconda has its own Python IDE environment called Spider. So I open Spider already. You can see I'm using Python 3.6, not the latest Python. That is also supported already. Typically, I like to organize my windows. So left side is code, right hand side is the IPython console. What I like to do is restart the kernel at the beginning. And then first thing you need to do is open the file in IBridgePy folder called runme.py. This is the main entrance of IBridgePy. What you need to do is first find out your account code in IB Gateway or TWS. In TWS, you can see on the upper right corner, you will see your account code, DU230626. That's my paper account code. Write it down and then look for the runme.py. You can see the account code is here. You just change it to your own account code. This is one thing you need to do. Okay, either real account or paper account, but I'm using paper account right now. Then the next, what you need to do is to choose an IBridgePy example code. By commenting out all other file names, I mean by that is, if you open runme.py, you will find multiple lines of file name with example code there. You just comment in one line indicating the Python code you want to run and comment out all others. That's what you need to do, run Python code. And then the last step is just run runme.py in Python. What I mean by that is just click this green triangle and run it. The demo I want to give you is, the first demo is example show position.py. So this code will download your account information and display on the screen. We run it and take a look. Wow, pretty fast. Let's take a quick look. So IBridgePy version 5.64 file name is showing up there. The next part is starting initialize trader and initialize trader completed. When you see that, which means your IBridgePy run well on your computer. And then the next part, it will print out your account balance. 3 numbers: cash value, portfolio value, and positions value. Then if you have any positions, for example, I have Apple, Forex, Euro to USD dollar, and I have SPY, which is the ETF tracking SP500 index. So this is my positions. And you can trade the stocks, options, futures, forex, any contracts supported in IB using IBridgePy. Then if you have any pending orders, it will list it up there. You can see I have one order ID is 134. Status is submitted. Order information there. You can see this is a limit to buy limit by Forex, USD, Euro to USD dollars. Limit price is 1 cent. That's why it is still a pending order. And if you place orders which cannot be manipulated by the program, it will list it by perm ID there so that your code cannot touch it. There's Amazon and Interactive Brokers stock there. Then END. That's the end of the information there. Okay, this is the demo of how to run IBridgePy. If you want to switch to other program, what you need to do is just comment out this line. In Python, you use hash sign. Then the next part is to comment out this one. This one example is to show real-time price. Right now, market is open already. Let's still run this real-time price. Right now, I'm showing real-time prices of Euro to USD dollars. You can see it prints out price every second. Yeah, let's stop there. And I like to clean the kernel every time. Make screen. Oh, this is the code. Okay, this code is very simple. What I want to show you is right now the market is open. I want to get the real-time price of SPY. And let's print SPY. As simple as that. And then go to runme.py and run it. You can see SPY price coming in right now because right now US market is open. See it's going on right now. Let's stop it. For example, I just want to obtain historical data. What I will do is to comment out the other code and comment in this line. So it will get historical data. For example, I just run it I want to give you a feeling about how it runs. So it print out the historical data of SPY. In my code, I ask for the price of Apple and Google. You can see the historical data comes in. Yeah, this is the quick demo of how IBridgePy runs. If you are interested in what the code in the sample code, what you need to do is open file. This is the IBridgePy folder, and you go to strategies and look for example, this is the code I used to get historical data. Example, get historical data.py. You know, open it up, you can take a look. It's very straightforward. You define symbol and request historical data. and then print. As simple as pie. Okay, let's go back to the presentation. Let's see anything else. Okay, the code structure. So we start talking about the Python code. I will talk about a few functions. At the beginning, it may not be as straightforward, but please follow me. You will understand it's pretty simple actually. In IBridgePy, there are three basic functions. The first one is called initialize. This function is used to declare IBridgePy global variables. I will show you an example. This function runs once at the beginning of your execution. So which means just one time. If you want to run something one time at the beginning of your code, put it there in this function. The other function is called handle data. This is the function where you put your trading decisions. It runs every second as default, but it's configurable. You can change it. And as I mentioned, trading decisions are made there if you want to make decisions have a fixed schedule. For example, every second, every minute, every hour, or even every day, or every 10 minutes, something like that, you can configure it. However, you may not want to do something regularly, as often as 1 minute. You just say, I want to do something at the beginning of the market, 9:30 Eastern time, or you want to do something just 1 second before the market close, so that you will use a function called schedule function. You can schedule events there. You can call function there. Yeah, this is the three basic functions you need to run. You need to write your code. Okay, let's talk about the code a little bit. So initialize function looks like this. In the example of show real-time prices, so this sample code will print the ask price of SPY every second, just what I demoed for you. So in initialize, I define a global variable called security. The way I define it is I put context dot security. So in this way, context dot security becomes a global variable in IBridgePy, so that you can use it in other functions. For example, handle data, context dot security here. And I use an IBridgePy function called symbol to define the contract. So I put SPY, which means I want to trade SPY ETF and trade at IB. Then, because I want to print ask price of SPY every second, so I put my trading decision, even if it's not trading decision, but just print or action. So I put the function show real-time price in handle data, so that this part of code will be executed every second as default. And then I put the global variable here and tell it I want to have ask price there. And then I put a variable, local variable called ask price. And then I just print. As I showed you in the example, it just keep running every second. As we showed you the show real-time price, and it just keep going. It just show real-time price. Think about you have the real-time price. You can do the calculation. For example, when the price is greater than $300, I just place order. So what you need to do is continue this handle data and place order there. IBridgePy will execute that. The next example is to fetch historical data. This sample code will fetch historical data of SPY daily bar. From today, go back to 5 days. Same thing, I put global variable in initialize to tell the code I want to handle contract of SPY. And then I put things in handle data, say first print, and then use the IBridgePy function called request historical data. And then I say I want SPY. I want the daily bar. I want to go back 5 days. Then hist is a pandas data frame. It has the returned information of historical data of SPY, and then print. Because I just want to do it once. So I use end to end my code. And then it will print out, looks like this, just as I showed you in the demo. The next part is to place order. So similarly, I define global variables and shares, how many shares I want to buy, and then show real-time price as before. And if the ask price is greater than $100, 1 cent, I want to place order. I want to buy SPY, 100 shares, and the limit price is $99.95. I won't do the demo because it will place order. Another example is to use IBridgePy to search securities. For example, in this code, it search high social sentiment and then print it out. Also, I can add, I just only want stocks in US major market and the price is greater than $100. If you run this code, use a function called getScannerResult, it will give you result. And you can use it. For example, CI is the highest social sentiment. Yeah, you can use it, this information. Okay, and then steps to build an algo strategy. You need to think about what contract do you want to trade? Do you want to read in or hard code it in the code? How often do you want to make your trading decisions? If regularly, use handle data. Or if you want to do something at spot times, you can use schedule function. If you want to calculate technical indicators, so that you need to request historical data, and you need to think about what kind of order you want to place, and then you can just say it's market order or limit or stop order or even trailing orders. Then let's talk about a sample strategy. I call it daily close reverse. The description of this strategy is pretty straightforward. If today's close price is lower than yesterday's close price, which means there's a dip, so I think it's a buy opportunity, so I buy SPY using all cash. Otherwise, I sell off all positions. This is a typical daily reversion strategy, and it looks like I need to hard code in my code, hard coded the trading contracts in the code. And because I need to access close price yesterday's and today's, so that I need historical data. Looks like I don't need to run it very often, just at a few spot times. So I need to use schedule function. And I want to place market order for instant execution. This is the analysis of this strategy. The next part is this strategy code. It's very straightforward. I want to define a security, say I want to trade SPY, and then the decisions and actions are made in this function called schedule function. And what I scheduled to run is another function is called a daily func. It's defined there, which means I want to run it every day at 15:59 Eastern time, which is 1 minute before the market close every day. At that moment, I want to trigger this daily func function. Okay, this part is code, this part is comments. So this function is defined actually here. The trading decision is like this. The first, I use data.history to retrieve historical data daily bar. I want to go back 2 days and daily bar. And then I get a his, which is the data for data series at this moment. And the -2 means the close price yesterday. And hist -1, I assume this is the close price of today, because right now it's just 1 minute before the market close. If the close today greater than close yesterday, then I want to sell off all positions. I use a function called order target percentage and put 0.0, which means I want to sell off all of my positions. In the other way, I want to buy SPY by all cash in. So I put 1.0, which means 100% of my cash. I want to use them to buy SPY. Yeah, that's the end of this code. It's pretty straightforward. The next question definitely you want to ask is this strategy profitable? Okay, the best way to check is backtest it in IBridgePy. IBridgePy does not have any historical data, but it can retrieve historical data from interactive brokers and use that data to backtest your strategy. Another example is moving average crossover. The description is like this. If the fast moving average starts to jump higher than slow moving average, and then buy SPY using all cash. Otherwise, sell off all positions. This is also a daily, but this is a typical trend strategy. It needs historical data, and similarly, you want to make decisions at spot time, and you want to place market order for instant execution so that you can code like this. From here to here is exactly same as the previous example. And then, oh, not exactly same, because I want more historical data here. And the next part is to calculate the fast moving average, calculate slow moving average. If fast moving average is start to jumping up, and then we place order to buy SPY all cash, otherwise sell off all position. So you can see, sounds like it is a complicated strategy. Not that complicated, but the code is even much simpler like this. Backtesting. Backtesting is the process of applying a trade strategy to historical data and to see how accurately the strategy or your model would have predicted the actual results. The basic thing is IBridgePy will retrieve historical data from IB or user provided CSV files which has historical data, and then IBridgePy simulate processing orders as IB server does. It supports market order, limit order, and stop order right now. And the simulated transactions, it will be stored in another folder so that you can check the backtesting result and analyze your strategy. And the portfolio values is also recorded. I will show you how it looks like. The demo is to open a file called testme demo1. Let's go there. Testme demo1. Let me open it up. It's a little bit longer than before, but then runme.py. Let me explain what you need to do here. First, you need to comment in which strategy you want to run. This part is the demo close price reversion.py. And the next part you need to change is account code. Change to your account code so that you can retrieve historical data from IB. Then you don't need to change data provider name or run mode. The default mode is in this testing is to run handle data every minute as Quantopian does right now. What you need to do is to define the historical data injection plan. What you need to do is tell IBridgePy to retrieve, for example, SPY. You want minute data. You want to go back 10 days because in your strategy, you need to get the real-time price at 359. So you need to get historical data 1 minute to supply that data to your code. Also, you need daily data. In some case, because they are different bar size, so you need to explicitly ask for it from IB. So for example, here, SPY daily data go back 30 days. The next part is you need to tell IBridgePy the time frame of your backtesting. For example, the end time is now. You can see it's a datetime.now. And the starting point is go back, for example, 8 days. And the frequency you want to test is 1 minute. That's all you need to configure the backtester. And the code is, open it up already, I think. If it's not open, you can go to strategy folder and go to demo close price reversion. Right there, here is the code. I want to backtest. And then to run backtester, you need to go back to testme demo1.py and run it. So at the beginning, you can see IBridgePy retrieved historical data. Let's just let it run. Oh, okay, it completed. So the first part is IBridgePy retrieve historical data from IB. You can see it retrieves daily data right there, retrieve the minute data right there, and then data injection completed, and print out your account information and start to run it. Run your code actually. You can see daily func runs at November 6th at 15:59 as you requested. in your code, and then run it until November 11th. It starts to place order to buy SPY. You can see buy market order 324 shares, and the price bought is $308 and 28 cents, and sell all of them 1 day after, following your strategy. Okay, this is the demo of run historical data from IB. Actually, one thing I want to mention is if you go to the folder of output, you will see right there, this is the balance log. You can check it out, the account balance and the cash value. Starting from $100,000 and go up a little bit. If you go to the output and the transaction log, you can see the transaction there. Okay, yeah. A few improvements actually needed here. For example, if you want to debug your code, you need to fetch exactly same data from IB for every test, which may violate IB's pacing rule. Another thing is you request a lot of minute bar information, but actually only the minute bar information at the 1559 is used in your code. So you waste most of the minute data. Another thing is sometimes you don't need the real historical data. You just want to test your code to find any coding bugs. So you really don't need historical data. You just need some random data. Yeah, to improve the performance, what I want to demo is to supply historical data by user. So we can go to test me demo 2. It's right there. Same thing, you need to tell which file you want to run. What you need to change is change the data provider name from IB to local file. Same thing here. However, what you need to specify is you want to read your data from the folder of input of IBridgePy. It's right there. So the data is saved here actually in the format of CSV. And in the injection plan, other than this part, you need to tell, I want to supply SPY minute data by this CSV file so that IBridgePy backtester can use it. So this is minute data, this is daily data. And because of the data, historical data I provide, I need to change the start time and end time a little bit. Then let's clean the kernel and run the file and run it. So you can see it starts run from July 26th to October 6th, and there is a transaction to buy and sell. So that in this way, you supply historical data from your local CSV file, and you can retrieve this information from, actually you can retrieve historical data from other data provider to go through the backtest. And the other quick demo is to, for example, in the code, and it goes through every minute to your code. But actually what you really need is just 1559. And then you can specify in your code that I just want to run them at some special second. Then what you need to do is to change the time generator time to custom and put the spot time into custom spot time list, and then go through your backtester. Then your test will run much faster. Also, you can change the data provider name to random so that there's no real historical data needed. It's just a random data, but you can use it to quickly find out your coding bugs. The next part is performance analysis. Let's go to this example. I provided performance analysis chart.py. What I made is a fake performance.txt. Actually, you can change the log info. Actually, you can change the file to your real log file and then run it. This is pretty straightforward to make a chart and calculate some variable. I calculate some performance. Let's run it quickly. It looks like this. It's just a random data, actually, fake data, but it print out the last 5 columns of your balance log, calculate Sharpe ratio, and make a drawing. You can analyze the performance of your backtester. And then after you analyze the performance, you feel comfortable, you can go to live. Then what you need to do is switch to runme.py and try your paper account first and run it against the real market to see the real performance using a paper account. And then what you need to do to live trade in a live account is just simply to change the account code in runme.py and change it to your real paper account. No, real account. Then you can live trade your strategy so that you can go live. Next part, I will show you how to use IBridgePy to handle multiple accounts. For example, you can, for example, in this example, you can place 100 shares in account number 1, and you can place 500 shares of SPY to another account, actually, and you can handle as many accounts as you want in your code right here. Yeah, this is the summary of today's webinar. IBridgePy can help you set up your own algo trading platform. You can backtest and live trade together in IBridgePy. IBridgePy can trade with different brokers. In this webinar, we talk about to trade with interactive brokers. And IBridgePy can help you manage multiple accounts. It's a very important feature for fund managers. Overall, IBridgePy is a flexible and easy to use Python platform That's the end of my presentation. And the next part, I will go through the questions and answer my questions. I need to read it a little bit. Actually, the first question is, can IBridgePy be installed using pip? Actually, pip is the way to install software. The answer is no. You need to download the zip file. Okay, let me see. How secure is IBridgePy? I'm concerned about security of my IB account. Very good question. IBridgePy is a Python software in your computer, so that and it only connects to IB official software, either TWS or IB gateway. So this happens in your computer. And the connection between your computer to IB server is provided by IB gateway or TWS. If you still have other safety concerns, you can install any software you want to monitor the internet connection and to see if there are any suspicious connection. Then safeguard your IPs actually. So you can do whatever you want to check the security. So it's 100% in your hand. Don't worry about that. The next question is, do we need to install zipline? No, IBridgePy does not use zipline in any way. So it's purely different than zipline. Is it possible to have different order types, such as MOC? And it's not supported right now, but it's pretty simple to support if you want. You can drop me an email to ibridgepy.com. We can talk about it offline. Will this package work with IB demo account? Yes, demo account is paper account. Yes, it works. You can see I'm using the demo account right now, actually. How do you grab time series fundamentals? As long as IB provide that, we can code it. If you want to know more details about how to retrieve information from IB, you can send me an email. We can talk about it offline. Does IBridgePy support TALib? The answer is yes. As long as you can install TALib, you can call it from Python. Next part is, how do I link IBridgePy to my bank account in India? No, IBridgePy does not link to your bank account actually. Right now, IBridgePy link to entire brokers. And if you're talking about brokers account of IB in Indian, you just change the account code. How do we compare this with Pine script? I'm not sure what is Pine script actually. I can check it out later actually. IBridgePy can be connected to Indian brokers. Entire brokers provide Indian market, covers Indian market. Is TWS required to open for running IBridgePy in test mode and live mode? The answer is yes. IBridgePy get connected to either TWS or IB gateway. So when you are running IBridgePy, you need to keep TWS open. Either test mode. You are asking test mode and live mode. The answer is yes. For test mode, you need to retrieve historical data from IB. And for live mode, you need to get a real-time price and place order so that you must keep TWS open. And which one is more effective? I assume you want to know the difference between TWS and IB gateway. TWS will shut down every day at 11 a.m. or 11 p.m. and IB gateway does not. So if you want to run a pure algorithm trading, you may need to use IB gateway so that you don't need to restart every day. Next question, where can I download Slack? Okay. Is it possible to run multiple strategies simultaneously on one single account via IBridgePy? For example, one strategy trade Forex, one trade futures, one trade equities. The answer is yes. You can write different functions and schedule different functions, and different functions make trading decisions for different strategies. However, if you run different strategies in one IB account, you need to think about how to distribute money into different strategies, because multiple strategy will access the money in one account. So it may has a competing process. That's something you need to think about, but IBridgePy supports that. What are the brokerage charges for interactive brokers? So please go to IB's website and they have the pricing there. PineScript is a coding language designed by tradingview.com. Thank you. I will take a look later. If you want to continue this topic, you can send me an email. What's the difference between using IBridgePy and Zipline for backtesting? Zipline, can you supply your historical data to backtest? I don't think you can do it easily. And IBridgePy, everything is Python actually, and you can control anything. And that's the difference actually. And you can live trade in IBridgePy. That's the main difference between IBridgePy and Zipline. You cannot live trade in Zipline. Next question is guidelines for connecting IBridgePy to demo account of broker demat account in India. I'm not sure what you mean here. Probably you want to get connected between IBridgePy and your local broker actually. And if you want to integrate some special broker in India, as long as they have API to automate trading, IBridgePy is able to get connected. Next question. Can IBridgePy handle IBKR using user log in and log out? No, you cannot do that. IB does not allow to do that. Next question, are there additional charges for using IBridgePy? IBridgePy is a free software. So the answer is no, but you need to pay IB to trade. Is IBridgePy Windows-based or Mac? IBridgePy support Windows, Mac, Ubuntu Linux. How does IBridgePy make money? IBridgePy has premium versions. You can think about that. Also, IBridgePy provide rent a coder service, which helps traders to code their strategies to make money. Yeah, that's the end of questions. Let me see what else. And if no more questions, that's the end of today's session.
Thank you so much, Dr. Huiliu, for taking a wonderful session and giving this information about the backtesting and how people can use interactive brokers using IBridgePy. And thank you, everyone, for being with us till now. Just to give you a quick brief, IBridgePy and Interactive Brokers and Dr. Huiliu is one of our very esteemed faculty members for our flagship course, EPAT. I'm sure many of us, you are already aware about this. For someone who is not aware about the course and would like to know more about it, please drop in your questions in the feedback form. So the feedback form will be floated now. Also, the early bird for the January batch of EPAT is valid until the end of the month. Interested individuals can let us know about their preference in the survey form. Thank you.
Thank you very much.